Hello and welcome to the Purple Sector's F1 podcast, post Abu Dhabi Grand Prix edition. My name is Kunal Shete, and joining me on the podcast as always is unbiased fan and voice of reason on the podcast, Shashank Shete, for the last time this season. Also, I think look at his undercut from last time, he could easily be the Nico Rosberg among us for his cursing of the Ferrari team. And also joining me on the podcast, as always, is our resident undercut queen and biased fan of the podcast, Pooja Reddy. Welcome to the show. Today we shall crown you as the champion of champions, the coronation of the queen. It will be happening today. That could possibly actually be the best part of today's podcast because the race as such was far from being a banger. We went from an absolute banger in Las Vegas to coming back to square one to what do you say? Back to Pavilion.
Started, I think. Back to
We
Pavilion.
started. Yeah. We came.
Also,
back
there
to
were
the
5
two
more
of us.
races. I think still, if Pooja didn't do any undercuts, she would have still been crowned the champion. He was so bad.
He was as
bad.
dominant as Max's performance in the scene. So I think that's kind of a nice way to connect the two things. I think we had Max winning everything and we had Pooja also winning everything. So at least in that way, it's come.
So Pooja should get penalized next time. She should get only 2 undercuts per race, and we should get 4 undercuts.
We get
At least make it little
sliding
fair.
scale.
This race also I really tried, and this is probably the first one where I think I'll probably score 0 points, but I thought
We'll
I'll
get
do
into that. We'll get into the final
Don't worry.
scores this time. This time we'll get into the final scores so that we officially look at the margin of defeat for Shashu and me. I think it between me and Shashu from last week we were there was a half a point between us. So it's tight. It's like fight for P2. So it kind of mirrors. It's mirroring what happened in the entire season. So that's pretty cool. I think for us for our first season of the Purple Sectors. I think the fact that we've mirrored what's actually happened in the championship itself is a good start.
Yeah, I think even if we add up our points, we won't get to where Pooja is.
We'll see at the end what combination, how to give you something.
True. We'll see. I think think that's a good bet. You want to put an undercut on that our undercuts together will be lesser than hers for half a point extra.
Why not? I think it'll be better than my undercut where I said Charles will get kissed by Fred Vassar.
Now that those kind of undercuts are just very foolhardy. Doesn't seem like you had unless you have cameras everywhere. Personally, you put cameras in in the Ferrari garage everywhere.
I did, but I tried to Google Fred Vassar if Fred Vassar kissed Charles Leclerc, but I was on that for 2 minutes because it seemed a little creepy to search for stuff like that. So
I know. That's what I'm thinking, man. Your search history is going to come under scrutiny.
Your search history.
So it'll be two things. One will be like they'll think something's wrong with this guy. Second thing is they'll start, giving you, ads for some, stuff that I don't think you're looking at right now. Anyways, let's quickly go into the debrief. Let's go off into the debrief. There is not much to talk, like you rightly said, but we'll anyways just knock the key moments from this race. If key moments in terms of not being exciting, but at least moments that happened, and we should definitely quickly run through them. Firstly, of course, is Max signs off with another win. It ended where it started. I think I don't think it's a better way to put encapsulate the season. I think the final race kind of encapsulated the entire season. I think in a nutshell that this guy was in his own little race, having a lot of fun. Apparently, they didn't even do his best what they had looked at in terms of strategy, they didn't do his best strategy because they wanted him to, lead more than 1,000 laps. So they planned accordingly, and they did that 2 stops, and it was too simple. I don't know if there's anything more to add to his performance in this race, but yeah, it was simply lovely and simply easy. It was just too easy. This is one of those races which was just far too easy for him. So, anything to add to Max's performance in this one?
No, I saved it for
Okay.
my 3-word review, so I'll tell you then.
Yeah. I think we've lost
Yeah, the unbiased fan.
the unbiased fan has decided to leave the show for some time. I think he'll come back. That's fine.
We called him Nico Rosberg. See, the curse now begins.
The
One
curse
by one.
begins.
Yeah.
Yeah, this is a very Nico thing to happen. That it's the first time we've had such issues with the tech. So, anyways, we'll power through, Pooja.
Yeah.
I'm sure he'll join
Go
again.
totally correct.
Race for P2 in the constructors goes into the last lap.
Yeah.
Yeah, it didn't seem like that. I mean, throughout the race, obviously, I don't know what happened to Carlos this weekend. He had an
I was
absolutely
hoping he'll
torrid
catch
time.
two positions, but yeah.
Yeah, he had a torrid time. He started off on the back foot with that big crash.
Oh yeah.
But I think if they had just mirrored everyone's strategy, he would have probably gotten to the top 10. I think I don't know what they attempted with that really long.
Correct.
Actually, we know what they attempted. They wanted they had hoped for a safety car, and that would have, worked things out for them. But that obviously didn't come, and he ended up in absolutely no man's land.
Yeah.
So it was a
He
very
himself
strange
didn't know
one.
his race, I think, because and I don't think he seemed
It was a
very
very strange
motivated
one.
either.
It's one thing being slightly off pace, but for Carlos to have that bad a weekend was a very, very big surprise. And this is my feeling to it, that the reason he did that badly was that crash. Actually, there's something happened to his chassis,
Even
or
I
something
think-
happened which they weren't able to fully figure. So I
Correct.
think that hampered his progress a
I
lot
think
more.
so too. Yeah.
Charles, obviously, he was
They did
out an
best.
absolute stonker in that qualifying. I didn't think they would come in the top 5. I thought he would also be like outside the top 5. He did one of his special laps, and then honestly, I actually thought the McLarens would be really strong, and they would get past him, and it would be between Charles and and also Charles and this guy Draco for like 4th, 5th type positions, and see how one can get ahead of the others, because Lewis also was completely off this race. Lewis also was absolutely off. So it was a strange one, but I think it was the right ending, if you ask me. Like, even though obviously we have big Ferrari fans, I'd rather sit in P3 and in hindsight sit in P3 and get a little bit more development time than come into P2. It's a very empty kind of P2 actually, because both Ferrari and Mercedes made a lot of mistakes throughout the season.
Yeah.
Right, guys got DNFs.
And 4 points is not a huge differentiator anyway.
It was blah. That whole thing I'd expected it to be more exciting in terms of that fight for P2. Things might work out. I wasn't that excited about getting into P2 anyways. So it's okay. It is what it is. But yeah, I think that's something that happened in the race. That something at least happened, that the P2 championship was finally decided in possibly the last lap.
Yeah.
I think our guy has got a lot of issues with his internet or what, I don't know.
Today.
He's coming and going.
It's like Carlos, he doesn't know what race he's in, or some
I know.
radio message he put out, right? Saying, Ricky, like, I'm lost, what's happening? What is our race?
Yeah, Ricky, I'm
That's when I
lost.
knew.
Tell me
That's
what to
when I
do.
knew I'm like shit now. Though I think they're just running for the sake of running.
Yeah, I think it's just
No, but
yeah, it's
like you
not
said,
working
before
out.
it was the chassis thing, so there was like
I think there's something off with the chassis. There was a big crash, so
maybe they
I
knew and they couldn't reveal it
yeah,
because
I think they were doing damage limitation. They said
yeah,
let's because there's no point putting in more money
exactly.
at this point in time,
Correct.
and
Yeah.
going above that budget and then
And then the grid
taking that
penalty,
pain into next season. Yeah, I think there was some problem. There's no way Carlos
Carlos.
was that slow. It's impossible. See, again, we are mirroring this last episode, uh,
Our
aligned
first
to
episode.
what's yeah. No, it's also aligning to what happened in the race with Carlos. That, like you said, he was completely lost, saying, "Ricky, what race are we in?" When Shashank's also nowhere to be seen. He's in
But
a
can I
different
give
race.
you like a tidbit which I think could also have
Yes.
hampered maybe
Yeah,
Carlos'
yeah, yeah.
thing? Because even
Yeah.
I just found out recently that
Hmm.
his performance coach is now going to Max,
Yeah.
which I'm
So
sure would
Oh yeah,
he
would
would
even
have
be
I
seen
bummed
saw
it
out,
that.
I think.
coming.
Yes.
Yeah, that's what I think
Yeah, I
too.
saw that his
Yeah,
performance
he would have
coach
been
went to
bummed
max.
out, but
Yeah,
Also, did
after
after
8
Carlos
realized,
years,
actually
it's not
finish or
a small
was it
amount
a
of time.
DNF for him?
yeah, that's a split. That's a
Mm.
proper split.
So
Strange. I know what happened, but who's Max's performance coach and where is he going?
he has basically, where is he going? We don't know. He's not going to anywhere in F1. I think he
Acha.
is quitting like F1. So
Hmm.
I think his name is Brad or something like that. I think I read somewhere, but so that's why this guy is
Hmm.
going to him. And obviously, it's like, why would he not go? It's Max
Hmm.
versus Carlos. If he had to pick, obviously he'll go to Max, right? 8 years, this Carlos hasn't won one championship. Max already has three under his belt. So
Hmm.
not everyone will look at it from a personal point of view. It's business at the end of the day.
Yeah. And but performance coaches, yeah. I mean,
Means
talking about
he's a
performance coaches,
sporting coach
yeah.
and performance coach. No.
That Angela also is Lewis's performance
Yeah,
coach, no?
yeah.
Yeah.
Last
So
year
she
he
also
left.
left.
Yeah.
Also, Yuki's coach has just left. Yuki's performance
Oh
coach
yeah, I
because I
saw
saw
that
some
also.
really these are very
I saw.
nice content that was like very
Yeah,
wholesome content.
yeah.
Him and Jason Statham. He's a big Jason Statham
I
fan, so
saw.
he's like a child only. He was so
He is a
he's like
child.
he's too good. He's saying that for the airdrop, his this thing is his name for the airdrop on his
Mm,
phone
mm.
is Jason Statham's son.
Oh, whoa, big fan.
Who's this Yuki
Full.
Tsunoda?
Yeah, Yuki Tsonoda. Yuki, you saw the content around Jason Statham and Yuki Tsonoda?
Oh yeah, I saw that. He's apparently a very big fan of Jason Statham. No, he was fully fanboying.
Yeah,
Yeah.
he's too good. Very sweetly, he was like going and he's seeing
Hmm.
that. But at first, it's very cool. Statham, like he asked him, then just randomly, he was asking Jason Statham, so you guys flew in from the US or? And he's like, no, Yuki, we moved back to London now. He's calling him Yuki, like, and then he also told him that now that you're basically your airdrop name is Yuki's, I mean
Mm,
Jason Statham's son. Like
fun.
that means I have a responsibility towards you. He's laughing.
So cute.
So yeah, I think he actually went digressed from the original point around P2 in the constructors. Sashi, did you think that there was anything interesting about that fight, or kind of petered out at the end? I mean, Pooja and me thought it really didn't bring in too much excitement. I don't know if you were
Yeah,
excited given
I
you're
mean
not
it.
in a Ferrari.
Not really. I think both teams had a chance to get P2, but it so happened that only one of the drivers of both the teams was able to perform, and the other one was a little bit of
Absolutely.
a no-show.
Yeah.
But I think,
Yeah.
I don't know if it was well deserved, not well deserved. I think both of them were pretty much even. So 3 points is not really that much of a gap. I guess in a way it's good for Ferrari that they finished P3 because they probably get a little more time to develop their car. They have more resources. So maybe
Too
Sainz
much.
was a smooth operator. He was a smooth operator that way and said, you know what, I'm going to just chill out for this race and not really score any points and not even going to go and get my pit stop unless it's absolutely necessary, and then
Yeah.
get
So
no
the
points so that we get
so,
more time for the 2024
yeah.
season. So he
So the
still
crazy
remains the
thing is
smooth operator.
the crazy thing is you kind of picked points from mine and Pooja's thing
Yeah.
and put
Even
it
while
all
not
together
being
as
here, you
summary.
just said
Beautiful,
everything. Yeah.
beautiful, totally syncing up. This is like all working out, just like Max's entire season.
Yeah.
One more thing that I wanted to talk about. This is again in relation to the P2 battle in the constructors. I've written it as Perez lets people down again, as always. He's always letting someone down. He's either letting himself down, or he's letting his team down, or he's letting specifically Max down. This time, he's let Ferrari down also by making. I mean, I
I
would say
could
that
I could
the
see
five
that.
seconds the 5 second penalty was harsh, but there was no. I mean, there was no need. He had more pace. Again, these stupid errors. No, only Perez makes. The thing is, he at that turn. I mean, it's a hard braking into that left, and it's a very slow corner. He's like he got the inside instead of covering the inside and then taking the apex and going, he's opening the steering. Lando's coming from, he's obviously got the outside. There was no need for it. Then obviously he went to the stewards and yeah, they gave the 5 seconds, was a bit harsh, but you can you can look at it either way. I mean, there was a
If
chance. It was more 60
looking at
40
it,
towards
I
not
think,
getting the penalty, but yeah.
if
But he
anybody
lets
would
people
have,
down. The thing.
but if anybody deserved a penalty while watching it live, I thought Norris deserved the penalty more than Perez. Huh? I mean, for me, it was a racing incident. I don't think both of them deserved a penalty. But just looking at it or watching it live, I thought Norris kind of just, even though he was to the outside and he saw a car was there on his inside, I don't know in which world he thought that he's going to go and hit the apex. He turned into Perez. Perez went wide,
So
but also I
yeah, I
felt
mean he
like
opened the
Norris literally
steering. No,
turned
that
into.
yeah, it seemed like an end of season move. I think both have checked out. I think they
Yeah.
were just like
I
at
think
end
both.
of
Yeah,
like
I think
back
even
end of the
not.
race,
Yeah,
last end of the season. They kind of it was a mistake that you would not expect from Norris, especially.
Mm-hmm.
Perez highly expected
yes.
these kind of idiotic moves. Like, easy things also he'll make it hard for himself, make it hard for everyone. Crazy guy. Yeah, so Perez lets people down. Let that be noted
Yeah.
in our future.
Yeah. I know. For the first time when Perez got a penalty, the Ferrari fan that I was sitting next to was not very happy about it. Huh? He
What
was like,
the
no,
nice
why is Perez getting a penalty? Otherwise, he would have been jumping for joy. See, Perez again does a Perez, gets a penalty. What is this? Fully deserved. But now he's
Yeah,
got to a point where he thinks it's 60-40.
yeah, it's these sad times we live in. You have to make do with these kind
End
of
of
things.
season.
There is never going to be a problem for us if it's a head-to-head championship that we close, and it's between four drivers, and between the four drivers, Perez is always going to be the weak link. If it's two Ferraris against two Red Bulls, or for that matter, two Mercedes versus two Red Bulls, because you have that Lewis. If you give him a great car, he gets into his thing. Otherwise, he's a little crybaby as usual. Like, something's wrong with this. Something, do something. What are we doing? He's always crying. Useless fellow. Anyways, that is a special shout out. We'll get to that later.
Special shout out, special mention.
Yuki is the driver of the day. I think that was a very integral part of the story of this race. Was wholesome Yuki stuff. Excellent in qualifying, excellent in the race. Possibly could have got a slightly better strategy, but yeah, he was excellent. He drove very unlike in terms of his pace has always been there. He drove a very mature race, which was something we haven't seen too many times. I mean, he was damn good. All said and done, he got driver of the day, absolutely well deserved. So he had a superb race, and he was, I think, the biggest talking point outside of Max winning. I think was Yuki doing his thing in this race. And finally, this is becoming more and more of a sour note for me. Haas again last. Uh, they did absolutely zilch in this race, which was kind of expected, but the buck has to stop somewhere. I think even Gunther now is like, it used to be like he's the funny guy who's got a lip on him, and he obviously abuses and all, and very good drive to survive content. But
Yeah,
at
you can
some
be a funny
point,
guy with a lip when you have some performance to back that
yeah,
up. You
this
just
is
can't
like
be that.
this is embarrassing level. This is only one step above what Williams did when they didn't have a car ready for testing, and they finished that season with 0 or 1 point. This is only better than that season. There is no sign of development. There is no, the communication which also comes out from these guys, they're just not really in it to push that, because you had an Alpha Tauri who got a new floor to the last race. Although yes, they had a little
Correct.
bit more to play for, but that development, saying we have to, there's a chance we'll do it, we'll try something. I mean, Haas are becoming more and more of a laughing stock. And I used to like Gunther and all that. Now I think it's a bit of a joke. Like, you have to take ownership and responsibility and go in some direction now, which is up. You look up at least, or at least aspire to do something, and not aspire to just bring in stupid what you say, sponsors, and do idiotic things like sitting in that Gunther ship and all of that, and just play for just put on a show for social media and detail. That seems to be the way it's going. It's a very harsh testament, I think, to what's happening, but it's not good, because you also have like an Andretti who wants to get in, and a lot of drivers and teams who are against it, saying that we don't want another team that is fighting hard at the back, and not fighting hard. That's the wrong thing to say. It's so far
Yeah,
back.
yeah.
They just care for the sake of getting that attention, getting this, because it has to be over the sport, which means you're going for sporting excellence, not okay, I've paid this much, I'm going to get this much visibility, I'm going to get in these sponsors, I'm going to put in this much money, I'm going to that cannot be the sole purpose. Yeah, that cannot be your sole purpose of being in this sport. So I think there's a lot of answers that Haas have to answer. I think they have to be true to themselves if they think that this is really something that they want to be doing, or maybe just like how Williams sold off to another this thing, like just retaining the name. Now that Haas is a name unlike Williams, it's not like a Williams which has got so much standing in of Formula One. They have to figure out a way to make it at least seem like you're going the right direction. They seem to be very disinterested, which is not good for the sport, I think.
Yeah, I think Alpha Tauri got 6 new six floors totally in the entire season. So, like you said, they're at least trying, which Haas doesn't seem like they are doing. And this is also so you can, or they can say that it's the last race of the season, so we didn't want to do anything. But I think drivers have started, or rather teams have started developing for the 2024 season from mid 2023. And I think I saw in an interview Albon saying during the last I think 5 or 6 races, he's actually been driving the 2024 car in the sim more than the 2023 car.
Even I saw that.
That's where the other teams are at and it doesn't seem like Haas is seems even interested
They
about the
also
next
seem
season
quite
from what I'm
lost.
seeing.
What,
They
Pooja?
seem quite lost also. Like, I don't think even they know if they have a future type with Gene
Yeah, it seems
and the
like it. It
great
seems like the
performance. And
gene is not coming. Yeah,
yeah, he
Hmm.
wasn't
they
even
seem
there for the
lost.
last race, right?
Yeah, he's rarely there.
Was
At least he used to come
was he
back. I mean, he
there for
seems
the
to be.
Vegas Grand Prix? Because that's at least
He was
one
there. He
Grand
was
Prix
there.
that
I
he
think
should have been there. Or he was there because
I know
it's in
Kota he
he was
was
his
there.
there,
country.
I don't think he was front and center. I vaguely remember that he's there. I could be wrong, but I think he was there in Vegas. But he's also, to be fair, he's not the kind of guy who likes too much attention. So
Hmm.
he kind of hides in the shadows even when he's come to the race. He doesn't go front and center and take all the attention.
Also, is he? I don't know. Is he somebody who's actually passionate about racing or the sport, or is he somebody who's just
He's
purely a
I think his
businessman?
No, he is passionate. I think Gene Haas, from what I know of, actually has a background somewhere in NASCAR or something. I think he's got that pedigree of racing. He's not just a businessman. I think he has some pedigree in racing, and that's why I think the whole thing of again going back to one of the initial seasons of Drive to Survive was they had a deep dive into Gene Haas's whole thing with the sport and all. And in that scene, he just said that I'm not here to fight for 8th, 9th, 10th. I'm here to push this up to a point where we can race for wins. So seems to be going nowhere.
Yeah, if that's what he
Yeah,
said.
Like
I mean,
Pooja
more
said,
easy said
they
than done.
lost. Yeah, they're lost. That's the thing. They just lost, and I don't know what they're doing. And it has the buck stops with it comes from the top. So again,
Exactly.
Gunther has to be put into the spotlight. He's, I think, getting scot free because of his personality. It's the opposite way where you have a Nick DeFries who has zero personality and Lance Stroll has zero personality. This guy has a lot of personality, but it's not backed by any kind of performance
Hmm.
on track. So I think he has to be held accountable now. It's been long enough
Yeah,
for you
one
to
whole
turn
season.
this around.
Yeah.
This whole season, Pooja, and the thing
Must.
is, they've been around now for decent amount of time. It's not like it's a 1 year, 2 year old team.
Yeah.
It's a fairly old team now. It's more than 5-7 years old.
That's true.
So, even Red Bull started from absolutely zilch. They took a team which was nowhere, rebranded and started, and within 3-4 years they were reaching the midfield and upwards of the midfield. So their whole focus and attention was, and it's a brand which is all about I mean, Red Bull is a lot about show, and the whole
Correct.
vibe is very young, and you do a lot of cool, crazy things, and it could have also been just a way for them to be in the sport, but do all wacky things rather than go for like wins and reach where they are. So I think a lot to think about on that side. Coming to the special shout outs, I have to give kudos to my boy Charles. I think he was fighting for P2 by himself, including strategy, thinking what to do, 5 seconds here, how let Perez through. Yet didn't do something dirty with George saying that I'm going to slow him down. So he was outstanding throughout, and his last 5 races, I think, all qualies were P1 or P2, and the races were excellent. So I think he just came back with vengeance, and I sincerely hope that the guy gets a car to fight for, because I was just telling Shashu the other day, if he doesn't get a car which he feels is doing justice, because I think 25 there is a risk, but from what I hear, 3 people have signed on already, or pretty much signed on. One is Charles, one is Lando, and the other one is Max. The only 3 people who are certain to be with their own teams, with their current teams post 2024. Yeah, Charles they cannot lose. I think. I think they've put their eggs in his basket. He's put his eggs in their basket. I mean, it cannot not work. I mean, they have to
I
get
think
it right.
Charles and Lando Norris are in a
Lando.
similar situation. I think both of them have
Long-term
put
contracts they got.
their eggs in the team that they are in right now. So
Max is
yeah,
not going to go
I
anywhere.
Max
Neither
is
will
Max
not
will
going to
not.
go
Lando.
anywhere. If Max goes anywhere, he's going to go out of the sport, I think, directly. I
Yeah,
don't think he's
that's
going to
true.
go anywhere else. He'll do some
Yeah,
other racing. He'll either do 24-hour Le Mans, or he's also
yeah.
said that he wants to do that Dakar, or one of
He
those
wants to do Dhaka.
crazy
Yeah,
rally.
extreme.
Yeah,
Yeah,
exactly. The
extreme
one those
price.
the extreme
Mm.
rally in the desert type races. So yeah, Max is somebody who I think he'll leave only if he gets bored. So I hope the other teams buck up and see that they
Yeah, you
come at
can't lose a
least
He
guy
has
little
to
like
get
this.
bored.
close. Yeah, you can't do the Max. But
Yeah,
who
he's
knows? I mean, he
important to
can
the
come
sport.
back.
Yeah, he's also important
Yeah,
to the sport from being exceptionally brilliant on track. Absolutely nothing
he
to add off it.
is.
But yeah, again,
Yeah,
you have
and I
to have
think
a
he's
mix of
also come a
everything.
long way personality wise in the last year or so. Like maturity and personality wise, also I think he's
Mm.
different from what he was when he just came. He's a little more social, and yeah, you need somebody like that for the sport, not only his driving excellence, but just for the sport, where somebody like Max can market the sport also. To hope he
You
doesn't go.
watched you watched that video I sent you all, no? Who you watched over that impersonator?
Yeah.
His so it like his contract has to karaoke. I think he has to give three smiles per race weekend. I think it's part of his contract. He does only because it has to be part of the contract, and he's supposed to specifically not like Sashi was saying. He's come a long way in terms of how he used to even speak to the media in terms of being
That's
very
true.
monosyllabic. Now
Yeah.
I think it's in the
He's a
contract
man.
that
He's, yeah.
you 3 words minimum.
Yeah.
Otherwise, that unlocks a bonus for
Right.
him. It's nothing to do with what he put on that he perform on track. Outside of the track, also they've added to the contract.
Yeah.
That karaoke, I
But
thought that video, I laughed my ass off. I play it every day once. I think it's too funny. Superb it is.
also, I'd like to give a shout out to Kimi, because he I think he did a
What did
monosyllable
he
in a 3 word answer from from start to end, whether it was there in his contract, not there in his contract. Till the last race, it was still just 3 words. Yeah, my
Yeah.
the race was great, championship was great, and my full career in Formula One was great. That's it, like 3 words for everything.
I'm sure his debriefs and with his race engineers and all
They were
could not have
different.
been like
Yeah, they were different.
no, no, did
No,
it
no, no.
work?
Yeah, they
No.
were different. Like, yeah,
I'm
I've
sure
seen
it
that
was.
they were different. Yeah, they were different. This was just, I think, speaking to the media.
Yeah.
Yeah, interesting. Uh, Three more things I wanted to give a shout out to. One was the Mercedes radio was very interesting for me in that race. Russell, for me, this is a big statement I'm making. Is he seems like a stepchild as compared to Lewis Hamilton. Like Lewis gets this G up from Toto saying you're doing a great job. You're so
The fastest car.
don't worry. You're fast. Some like it's
Fastest
like
man.
talking to a child, saying that no, you're doing a great job. Participation certificate at least you're getting. You're doing excellent. Like you are the best. Like that false sense of giving someone that confidence. It seems like that, and then George gets some really poor answers and they're not telling him what's what.
Yeah.
And it seems like when shit hits the imagine if George would have also run into Lewis from the outside, it was his mistake. I don't think they would have been as oh no problem, things happen types. I think it's that radio gave us an insight into how much they mollycoddle Lewis also almost. I don't think they give it to him straight when even if he's at fault, I don't know if he gets. I mean, he's earned that. He's a 7-time world champion, but it just seems like it's very different. The two radios, the way it pushes out to information to Lewis and George. I don't know if you all saw it that way,
I saw
but
that. I mean, now that you said it,
correct only, Poojan's, yeah, very. I mean, it's the Toto is literally they'll call him while Shashu was selling, no, he's recuperating. Called him in his house, no, please talk to Lewis. Poor fellow is getting worried. I said, Lewis, you did great job. No, Lewis, we know the car is bad.
Toto,
You have to.
Toto's getting a little better, but if you've seen where he said that Charles did a great job where he didn't actually like slow down Russell, so at least he appreciated that. So I think
Very rare.
the
Very
medicines
rare.
the medicines after the knee
Are
knee
wearing off.
surgery are wearing off. Yeah, they're wearing off. So
Or
hopefully
maybe
he'll
the
be better.
medicines are getting him to be very mellow, so he's making the statement. Go either way. Maybe he didn't take his meds when he was in the last press conference over there and he was talking rubbish in Las Vegas.
But then
And
even
now the
this
meds.
Mercedes put up a picture, no, of him and Fred soon after. I don't know that one or.
With Christian on, no? Yeah, yeah,
And
yeah.
with
Yeah,
Cristiano
yeah,
also.
yeah.
This race they put up after
Yeah, yeah,
with
yeah.
Cristiano, last race was with Fred. After the race or after the conference,
Oh,
at the
okay,
end of
okay.
it,
I
we're
didn't see
still
that.
friends or always friends or something like that. It's like
But
say whatever and then
But
Fred-
I think
Fred is
we watched that thing with Natalie Pinkham. I think she did a podcast with somebody. She did an interview with somebody. So that's what she said, that they're all. I mean, they're made out to be by the media and obviously by Drive to Survive, like they're absolute rivals. But it's not. It's not all that bad. Huh? Like at the end of the
Hmm.
day, even the team principals are pretty friendly with each other. It's
No,
not like
100% will not be as
they're
much as
going at
Drive to
it, and
Survive.
it's not like some soap. Yeah, it's not like some soap opera going on.
I'm sure we are just taking snippets from the
Yeah.
media conferences or what we're seeing. That's all.
Yeah, yeah.
I think they have far better things to focus on anyway.
But yeah, I think, yeah, like you said, the principles also they are human after all. So whether they probably are mostly guarded, especially when it comes to on the airwaves also, I think they don't always give it like how it is.
Yeah.
There are very few people who do that.
Yeah.
Probably Max is absolutely 100% genuine on the team radio. I think he doesn't care. But yeah, you have to draw the line somewhere. You're always, walking the line in a way also in terms of, I mean, which is hard in the heat of the moment. It's always going to be different. So, but yeah, it's definitely Russell's not getting the same kind of treatment on
Attention
the
and
radio, at
affection.
least. Attention and affection. Attention and affection is all he seeks. Yeah. Draco.
Like Draco
Poor
did
guy.
also.
Yeah, like Draco also seeked affection only from his heart.
Yeah.
Okay, closing out the shout outs. The rookies were in full form in FP1. I think most of them did a great job, especially that Dragovic. He seems really fast, and I think there was one more guy, yeah, Theo Pocher. I think that guy has won the F2 championship, and he is in line for the Alfa Romeo seat. So I think Joe definitely has been so thanda and so like. I mean, he's neither here, neither there. Joe's just kind of
There.
he's there type. So maybe that's someone to look out for in the near future. And yeah, quick shout out to Franz Tost. I think that man is a very, very classy gentleman. He's been, never took front, never liked the limelight, used to do his own thing. And a lot of drivers owe him, a lot in terms of getting them to drive for his team and coaching them into, being
Being where they
brilliant drivers, including Max, including Carlos, Danny
Thiago.
Rick. So they've got there are a lot of drivers who've come, and they all have obviously very high praise to give Franz Tost. And yeah, Max genuinely, I felt, meant every word what he said about Franz Tost, helping him out in his career also as soon as he got into that seat. So I think who's going? I think the Ferrari guy is going there. No, that Lauren Mickey's is the
I
guy.
think so.
Yeah, good. He should go there. He never gave me any confidence. Like he saw him only, he seemed like he was confused over there. So all the best to Franz Tost.
Yeah.
Yeah, so I think those are our shoutouts. Let's just review the race in 3 words. Pooja, if we could start with you, I think you had I'm sure you have something interesting to tell us. about your 3-word race review.
3-word race review. So this time is for Max, and it's not just for the race. I think it's for the season also, and his outstanding achievement. So, in simple words, I'm going to use Julius Caesar's words, which is Veni, Vidi, Vici. He came, he saw, he
Ah.
conquered. But also, in simpler words, that winner takes all. He's taken most of the races. He took they took the fastest pit stop award. The fastest lap award was for Max, like at the end of the ceremony, whenever they gave out all these awards. Now he's taken Carlos's trainer. He's just taken everything. So, winner takes
We
all.
take it. I take it. I do not give it.
Yeah, but well
No,
done.
great.
I mean, so deserved.
Yeah.
I think it was all him. So yeah,
Perfect. I think a perfect way to round out the season. I think.
yeah.
Yeah, man. Julius Caesar. Wow, nice reference that was. Sashi,
Yeah.
what is your 3-word race review?
Yeah, so even mine is, I guess, on Max and also not on the race, but the entire season. Mine is again Max telling everybody thank you for coming, because it seemed like the entire 2023 was Max's party.
Thank you for coming.
Yeah, he said, you know what, this is my party. Thank you guys for coming. Here's your return gift. And let's see each other in 2024. So my 3-word race review is thank you for coming. I had another three-word race review. Thanks for
you,
coming.
Nawal.
Thanks.
Thanks for coming.
Thanks for coming. No, I actually put down thank you for coming, but I knew that you guys will get technical, so I changed the thank you to thanks. Thanks for coming.
Well,
Fair point. You had another 3-word race review. You might as well let it out now. It's okay.
yeah, man.
Last-
I mean,
last
the
episode
other,
of this
the other,
season, what else?
the other 3-word race. I mean, it just said mission A accomplished or something, because it seemed like Max was playing a video game and he finished mission A, and then
Yeah, all missions complete.
the end of
all
the
missions
the end
complete.
of the mission. I think a radio message to him is
Like the
mission A
caller said,
complete.
no?
Come back to base. Yeah, but I would still go with thank you for coming.
Thanks for coming.
Thanks for coming. My bad. Thanks for coming.
3 words, like Kimi. 3 words. 3 words.
Three. Thanks for coming.
Cool. My 3-word race review is the perfect circle. I think it's just the way we started, that's exactly where we ended. Be it Max being Max, Checo doing stupid things, Charles trying his best but coming short. Mercedes, I think, across the season, actually for me, deserved to be in P2 or Ferrari. They were just a little bit more consistent. So yeah, it's kind of start where it ended. Specifically to Max, I think the biggest difference from between the start and the end was the finishing order of the McLarens and the Astons.
Yeah.
I think that's definitely that's kind of went the other way. Yeah. Let's quickly look at our smooth operators of the race. I think let's.
Unanimous, no?
Yeah. What are you saying, Max? What? Who's yours? Yuki.
Yeah.
Yeah, Yuki.
Mine is
Yeah,
Yuki.
Yuki
No.
only. Yeah, I thought so. Unanimous.
Not-
Driver of the
Yeah.
day. Driver of the
Yeah. For
day.
me, it was Yuki.
And smooth operator of the race.
Yeah.
Yuki was superb. Yeah, I was very impressed. I hope he keeps doing it. He's the kind of guy who, even on his bad days, I feel, he's done badly. Probably tell him, like, fuck, he was really bad that day, but you want the guy to do well. He just seems
Yeah.
a very likable guy. And then after seeing his content with Statham, so I am also a big fan of Statham. So, I think Yuki's gone up.
Yeah, even
on my
even
list.
if he does his tantrums and if he throws stuff around, I think he's just a
Yeah.
very
He's like
a
honest
good
guy.
guy,
Comes
but
across
he's-
as wearing his
Yeah.
heart on his sleeve, which is
Yeah,
great.
which is also good. He's not trying to pretend. It's
Yeah.
also a good thing.
Yeah, correct, exactly.
Now coming to the undercut, the felicitation and the final results. So Yeah. So the
The
last
queen.
the scores after the last race were Pooja was at 15.5 points, Shashu was at 5.5 points, and I was at 6 points. So yeah, now I think the undercut scores. I'll just tell you my undercut. I've kind of tabulated. I've got 1 point for Mercedes finishing ahead of Ferrari. Sashu, do you have a
I've
point?
gotten
I
I'm
got
not
0.
zero.
sure.
No,
You
I
also
got
got
0,
0.
but I said Yuki and Logi will score 0 points. So Logi scored 0 points, but Yuki scored points. So if I get a point 0.5 for that, then I get 0.5 points
Either
for
way, it's
my
not going to change.
undercuts.
Even if
But
you
it's not
get
going to
point
change anything,
five,
so might as well get a
it's not going
0.
to. So I get
Yeah,
1 point.
and
Shashi gets no points.
I abandoned my search of
Yeah, that was just an
Frederick was kissing
absurd
Charles
undercut.
Leclerc, so that's
Really?
0
Yeah.
again.
Pujams, you also
So
like
0
you
for
were
me,
I got
guys.
obviously
zero this time.
you also yeah you kind of just let it be saying it's
Yeah,
okay,
I
but
thought I'd give you guys a chance to get your 3-3
yeah.
or something, but
Yeah, so basically the final scores are Pooja finishes on top with 15.5 points. I finished second with 7 points. And Shashu brings up the Logan Sargent position with 5.5 points. So congratulations, Poojams. It's
yay!
been a
Thank
stunning
you,
year.
thank you.
Was it
It's been a
simply,
great
simply
year.
lovely?
Simply lovely. Yes, Max's words. Simply lovely.
Do you
Thank you,
have to
guys.
thank anyone, or it's all about your brains and your
Who's else to
understanding? I
thank
mean,
in this undercut?
nuance.
It's just me, my brains, my instinct. Uh, I don't know what else to say. My God, my family, you guys. But yeah,
Awesome.
it's
So
been a
we'll
good
be
one.
back
Nice.
next season. We'll be back with the undercut again. We'll probably make a few changes here and there to allow the back markers to at least come closer, and that
Put some
sliding
rules in
scale.
place. Yeah,
Yeah.
put some fair rules in
We
place.
can allow we can do a Massey now. We can allow the back markers to overtake the safety car.
Yeah. Now, just a cool little segment before we finish off. I think just to cap off the final episode of this season as we go into the summer break, is it's called the Purple Sector's Quick Fire. Now, I'm going to just put a question to you guys, and you have to give me immediate answers. Yeah, you cannot think about your answers.
Like
It's a very
coffee with
simple.
crazy.
Not not like that. This
That's
is
what
much
the
simpler.
rapid fire
That
you
level.
want to do.
No. Yeah, I can't do a rapid fire because I can't ask you one set of questions and then I
Oh,
ask him a different set of questions. So
huh.
it'll be at the same time to both. So yeah, let's start. But you have to give your answers immediately. You cannot think about your answers.
Okay, whatever
Uh,
comes to mind. Start
Okay.
with
Go
Driver
for
of
it.
the season outside of Max Verstappen.
Lando Norris.
Alonso.
Okay. Best race of the season.
Singapore.
Best race, I would say Vegas.
Yeah, mine was also Singapore, and incidentally, my driver of the season, other than Max, was our man Alex Albon. I think he did a very good job. I think he outperformed that car.
You have time to
Worst
think
race
about
of the season. Worst race of the
Qatar, I
season.
think, for me.
I think Qatar for me also, because that 3-word race review for me was I got bored. So
You got bored in
pretty
Qatar.
evident.
I didn't think you got
Qatar.
bored in Qatar. You got bored somewhere else, not in Qatar. You got bored in
Qatar.
Japan.
I thought Qatar only. What
Japan.
was that?
No, for me, but
Oh.
Qatar was the most boring for me.
Yeah, Qatar was close, but I think that's more of a recency bias going back to the first episode that Shashu introduced us to this great word. For me, the worst race of the season was Hungary. It was an absolute awful race.
Was
Look
Hungary?
back then, yeah. Budapest was really, 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 really bad. I think it had
No.
some 3 overtakes. I think it was shit race. Biggest fail, team or driver?
Haas.
Oh,
Same. I mean, I also. I mean, it's the most disappointing performance I've seen by a team for a very long time. Again, just behind Williams from that year.
Yeah, you should
If they
at
get
least
any
be
worse, they
trying.
also
They
won't have
didn't
a
seem
car
like they
ready
were
for
trying.
for testing in 2024. That's when you see that they've absolutely hit rock bottom.
mm,
And you could see that. I think Hulkenberg was getting very irritated. Magnussen
yeah,
was like, I am used to
passing.
this only. This is par for the course. And finally, a wild prediction for 2024. They make it really wild.
We really need to think, but
It's okay. This one I'll give, it doesn't have to be rapid.
wild prediction for 2024. How to predict, pa?
Wild prediction
Come
for
on, wild.
2024
This is
is
the
Yuki
most
Tsonoda
mellow
scores,
season. So
scores
there's so many options out there to go for a wild prediction.
at least one
what
podium.
can be wild?
Wildest will be if Ferrari takes championship, constructors, or drivers.
Yeah, that's wild.
One of
Yeah,
the
that
two.
is wild.
Hmm.
Shashu, what is your wildest prediction?
Shashu left only.
No, he's there. I think he's. Yeah, he's gone. He's had enough.
He's
Yeah,
had
my
enough of
wildest prediction actually was that Perez will keep his seat in 2024. Full season he'll be.
I thought about
he'll
it.
be
I was going to
retained.
say, but he'll be dropped. But you said he's going to keep his seat.
Yeah. No, the wildest thing will be
Drop is
he'll
fine.
keep
Yeah.
his seat. Yeah.
what-
So
correct.
that's my wildest prediction.
Let's see.
So
2020.
yeah, that concludes our first attempt at doing this podcast. This is our last episode for the season. We'll obviously do some interesting content in the off season. Let's before we go, let's give Shashu a chance to give his wild prediction for
Give your wild
2024.
prediction. You took extra time, left us all this.
Yeah.
Then
Oh,
went
I
and you
didn't
checked
even
and you
listen to
did
the
something.
question.
What's your wild prediction for 2024? So Pooja's was that Ferrari win the constructors / drivers. I said Perez retains his seat all of 2024. That's my wildest prediction. So what is yours?
Mine is Lewis Hamilton retires after 2024.
Ooh, that's wild.
possible also. But wild.
That's possible. That's wild. Nice. Good note to end on. Like I was saying, this is our last episode for the season. We'll be doing some interesting content off season, so stay tuned. We're gonna get hopefully some cool new interviews in, and just do some content which is wholesome or otherwise. We don't know what might come out of our combined creative prowesses. But yeah, I think it's been a great start. It's been a lot of fun. We've had a good time. I'm hoping that the people who watched this podcast, however few it might be, or however many it could have been, had a good time of it and got some insights from all of us. So it's goodbye for now. We will be back in 2024. So ciao, see you all, and drive fast only, man. No, drive safe on the road. Ciao, bye.
Yeah.
See you guys.